What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP, and this is my co-host, Josh.
Hey everyone.
And welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. All right, Josh. In a dramatic turn of events, now I know I told you guys in the last episode, and I know I told you in the last episode, Josh.
Yeah.
We talked about it. Gal Gadot seemingly hanging up the lasso, putting the skirt up, putting the crown away, and never going to come back and play Wonder Woman. In a dramatic turn of events, when she was asked at the Tudum event for Netflix, she was being questioned during her little Heart of Stone panel.
Mm-hmm.
And she seems to have ignited some hope in some people that she might be the one and only Wonder Woman moving forward, telling them over there at Tudum, asking if they're going to see Diana Prince again. She says that things are being worked on behind the scenes, and once the right moment arrives, you'll know about it. And that's basically it.
What the hell?
So a second ago, she was tweeting, basically saying that she wasn't going to be coming back. The chapter seemed to have closed. But then overnight, miraculously, at the next interview over, she now has things being worked out behind the scenes. I mean, can you make that make sense?
No. I'm not working behind the scenes over there. Damn, dude. I don't know. I was ready to put her to bed and mourn, but I mean that maybe I'm one of those people that's sparking hope because I'm kind of down for this. I've always liked her as Wonder Woman.
I mean, this is like, I like her as Wonder Woman, but in my head, this is the reason why. Now, this to me, this is the reason why DC could never get on the same page. You don't have the actors standing in solidarity. You have these actors who, 1 minute they're walking away, but then the next minute a nice little check comes around and they're like, you know what, maybe I can come back. Like what happened with Ray Fisher. That got so bad to the point where he just never comes back. And obviously I don't want to touch too much on the Flash, but he was supposed to be in the Flash. He refused to come back until WB. He stood his ground.
Yeah.
And now, you don't even see him. I like, you saw the whole Justice League in the Flash, but except for him, he was nowhere to be found.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be for the review when that comes up. But but Ben Affleck said that he was hanging it up, comes back here and there, whatever. And I love his Batman. But something tells me if they would have stood in solidarity and not been like, oh, I'm not coming back until I get my check. Oh, no, I'm not coming back until I get my check. And if they would have actually stood the ground and been like, well, is Ray coming back? Well, I can't come back unless Ray comes back. It's, how he says in the movie, there's 6 of us, not 5, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, it. If they all stood together, kind of like what happened with James Gunn with Guardians of the Galaxy, the whole crew refused to move forward without James. And what happened? Disney had their hand forced, and, they brought him back regardless of everything that happened. This is just another example for me that WBD is probably getting desperate, and this is kind of gonna move us on to the next topic. But I want to hold off on that topic real quick and just say, like, this is the reason why we can't get respectable movies and why we can't get a consistent character, because we have people who would run away when things are sour, but when WBD, oh, look at this, I have this, and all of a sudden, I might be Wonder Woman once again.
I don't know if it's that black and white. I think it's more of a James Gunn thing. You know what I mean? Because he's fired people in the past.
Look, man, you're always blaming James Gunn, bro.
Listen to me. He's the one running the shit. What do you want from me? I'm just connecting the dots, man.
Okay, let me hear.
He's the head of DC.
Okay, go ahead.
He can hire and fire motherfuckers. We've seen it happen. I'm not going to say it, but I almost thought about it, but I'm not going to say it. We know he can fire people. We know he can hire people. As far as Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, though, I honestly think he's keeping her around because he knows that there's actual gold there. You know what I mean? As shit as 1984 was, that first one tells that there is a demand for her as Wonder Woman. not Patty Jenkins to come back, that's a whole nother story. But he knows that he can't get rid of a good one like that, especially if she is willing to come back.
So you think Gal Gadot did such a good job to the point that instead of rebooting the whole DCU, he's gonna keep Wonder Woman as Wonder Woman, just and confuse people? I don't think that's gonna happen.
I think so. I think it's that simple demand. She's gonna be one of those things that survived the whole time stream collapsing or whatever.
Okay, so this is gonna move me on to my next point, or our next topic, basically. And our next topic is basically saying that WBD, in a shocking turn of events, is now willing to license off their HBO shows to different companies due to financial loss. Now, Deadline is reporting, saying that the arrangement is to, as of right now, only sell or give the show Insecure with Issa Rae, starring Issa Rae, to sell that out because the show's over. It has all the seasons. They'll be able to, put it on another platform and just air it there and just make money off residual.
Yeah.
So, according to the source, this is a financial move, and it says, we hear that HBO veterans push back against the plan, but corporate financial consideration had won out. So nobody wants to sell anything, but Zaslav is saying, hey, yo, we broke. They were banking big on The Flash. They spent a lot of money there. Now, like I said,
not enough.
I'm trying to avoid a lot of like DC stuff because they're going to leak into The Flash, and this is all the stuff that we're going to cover. But one thing that I do want to put out there is that there's an article as well that we will go over during our Flash review because, like I said, I feel like that particular article really goes into The Flash more. But apparently the WBD had pumped out $1.1 billion on those 4 movies alone: Black Adam, Aquaman 2, The Flash, and Blue Beetle. And so The Flash becoming a flop, Black Adam becoming a flop, Blue Beetle and Aquaman 2 not looking so good, they're getting to the point where they're getting desperate. And they're selling IPs.
They're selling IPs.
Now, I know what's going through your head. I know one thought that's going through your head, and it's going through everybody's head. Now It looks like everybody's like, well. Like, look who...
You guys were so opposed to the idea, but now that people are affecting box office numbers, oh boy. You motherfuckers. You should have seen it coming. I am dying from the fucking thing, by the way.
What thing?
You know what thing.
Oh, damn.
But no, that I'm telling you, they should have gotten it right from the start. Now that people are, even though the Flash movie stuff is divided, like how it's being received, they're still not enough to be banking this way. So we know what's coming. We know what's coming.
So I'm gonna have to ask you. I'm gonna have to ask you for everybody out there. I'm gonna have to ask you. So you think this is the birth of the sell the Snyderverse to Netflix? Do you think that this is the birth of that movement and showing that there is potentially hope now, like more hope than what we thought there was?
Honestly, yeah.
There was a sliver of hope
there
before,
was.
and I even told you before, like, hey, yo, like I'm not with this movement, but I'll support it or whatever. But now that it kind of sounds like it's kind of possible, are you on that side now?
Yes, I am. If it means I get my beloved characters back, yes.
So do you think when Gal Gadot says things are being worked out behind the scenes,
man, don't fuel my ideas like this.
Do you think that this whole WBD position is really maybe like a
last ditch effort?
Yeah, exactly.
Put it all together
because
they know they're not pulling it at the box office where it matters. I'm not gonna get into the Flash because it's just gonna make me angry. But oh man, if it could all work out, I'd be a better man. I'm vibing with this thought though, selling, because that means not just the DC stuff. Just so I can put that out there, but people were theorizing maybe Westworld comes back and all that. You know what I mean? They missed that show too. People missed that show.
Westworld?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that they're gonna actively produce shows on a certain on somebody else's platform. I think that if they do something like that, it has to be an IP that they know is gonna make them tons of, basically what Netflix did with like Daredevil and stuff like that. If they're gonna pop up with their own thing, they gotta make sure that it was gonna make money. They're not just gonna make something that's gonna just be garbage. So
I should get a Batman project from Netflix.
I know like Zack Snyder's Justice League and stuff like that, finishing his vision or whatever, at least till part 3. That'll probably sell the basically help them coast to their next goal, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? They say there's no money really in streaming, so they would have to need something so big that it would actually make money before they say, hey, okay, go ahead and make this show. Yeah. But like
they would need to see if selling shows that people like or have finished already, like if they were to move The Sopranos off Max, you know what I mean? And put it on Netflix
or something, and people watch it. Yeah.
That could probably bring in a lot of money. So, and this is also a big move because people aren't buying Netflix anymore. Or they are, but
I heard that they actually made a real good like comeback with subscriptions after they started telling people, hey, we're gonna start charging motherfuckers for this shit. So people started pulling their passwords and shit like that. I hope you've been doing that. You pay for the Netflix in this bitch.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, interesting way to go, and fueling my own theories and stuff. This is nice. So, can the Snyderverse and the Gunnverse coexist? Only time will tell.
See, and that's like that. I get that has to be my gripe though. I like, as much as I want to see the Snyderverse live and be happy that we're able to, it's just not financially sustainable to be 50-50 split on timelines, right? Let's say by some miracle, we don't know who the minority or the majority is.
Yeah.
Let's say for shits and giggles, Gunn's universe has 50%, Zack Snyder's universe has 50%. For shits and giggles, okay? I know some people don't agree, whatever. People hate Zack Snyder's stuff. That's fine. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. If you guys don't like it, it's not everybody's cup of tea, and we get it. Josh, shut the fuck up.
I didn't say anything.
Your face says it all. You shut the fuck up. Okay? Look,
I didn't say anything.
For shits and giggles, it's 50-50.
Okay.
If Zack Snyder's Justice League gets more viewership and James Gunn's doesn't get that viewership, there's no... Well... thinking about it, it's going to be in the box office, so they're not really paying money over here. So they might still have to go and pay money. But if this one outperforms this one, nobody's going to pay money for this one. They're just going to be like, at no cost, I get a better fucking DC movie. It would just be, like I said, for shits and giggles. I'm not saying Justice League Part 2 and 3 is going to be fire. I'm not saying that it's going to be 100% fire. But I'm not saying James Gunn's universe is going to be shitty. I'm not saying that it's not gonna work out, but I know you would.
James Gunn's universe,
and this is why I'm saying
shut gonna be ass.
Oh my god. Okay, it is not helping. Okay, I'm trying to be all inclusive, guys. Okay, but
I'm not. Fuck you. No.
My co-host over here is very passionate about his movies, but like it would just not be good for James Gunn, and what a slap and spit in the face to DC Studios director. But I mean, when push comes to shove and they need money and these movies fail to do that, I mean, like we said before, James Gunn pulling the fucking wire, shooting the gun, no pun intended, way before this slate was over, it basically gave people a reason to be like, well, why the fuck do I gotta watch this movie?
Exactly. That's kind of how it's been going for the year. And I was praising this year as DC's year, but I think this is just the box office showing, because even backing up the Flash movie and with things and Tom Cruise and stuff, that should have been enough. But general audiences were just like, I'm not vibing with this. Or maybe they are. Maybe they're the ones going to see it. Or maybe it's the rare fans of the Flash. I don't know. It's a real heads or tails of who's watching this movie.
I be hearing motherfuckers went 4 or 5 times.
It is no,
and that's what I'm saying. So I mean, people are watching it. It might be general audiences and stuff like that. Who knows? Word of mouth might kick up this weekend and on the second weekend, and it could actually, out of some miracle, it could do really well. But word of mouth is so bad right now, like nobody's really gonna give it a chance until it comes out in streaming. And hearing how the numbers are doing, it sounds like it might be happening in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, James Gunn shot this universe in its foot, and he's kind of paying the price. So, a real slap in the face to him. But to be fair, he backhanded DC fans first. That's where I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah, man. Well, here's the thing. James Gunn has not really been handling his position with grace, in my opinion. I think picking fights with random people on Twitter,
the funniest shit.
I think you saying things and then backpedaling. I think you not allowing people to like express themselves freely. I mean, rumors are rumors, right? I get it. People are saying things that aren't true. You want to put a stop to it, whatever. I get that. But if it's untrue, does it really matter if people take it and run with it?
Exactly.
Like, it's not like they're... Like, one thing is, like, those pictures and stuff that I've seen around where, it says, like, James Gunn is dressed up like a pastor or whatever, blah, 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 and they show the old tweets and everything. That I'm against. I'll say that. Like, I think that's pretty dirtbaggish for people to hate bringing up the tweets. Yeah, to air that shit out again. I think that to me that's kind of a low blow. I think if people already moved on, just let it be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Judge him on
start judging him by his work.
Yeah, by his work, his new stuff. I find that to be awful. But like the way that he has been coming out on Twitter and saying this and doing that little podcast that he did with Michael Rosenbaum when he was like when they were talking about the Lex Luthor thing, and then he smirked or whatever. Whether or not he was talking about Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, he knows how people are gonna take it. The same thing, we know about the Merc dude that's on Twitter, right?
Yeah, Mercury.
And the very first thing that James Gunn did was put up a picture saying that they're making a Mr. What's his face, right? Mr. Terrific movie, and that's his picture, his profile picture. So it's like, we know that you're subtly digging at these Twitter people. Why are you allowing that to become your personality?
Exactly.
And he's not giving himself a chance. He's not acting professionally.
Yeah, there's no way. If you keep like fighting with these people, there's no way that the people are gonna see you and take you seriously.
And then a lot of things come out that contradict them, right? Like now we have director of the Blue Beetle movie saying that Blue Beetle is part of the universe and future installments of the DCU. So he was saying to Deadline, right? Saying that, asking if his film will be part of the DC universe moving forward. Yeah. He says, "We are part of the universe. We are part of the world. We are part of the plans that they have been creating for the future installments of the DCU." Soto told Total Film Magazine, actually. "But we are not tied to all those films from the past. Yes, our movie lives in the world where superheroes exist, but that doesn't mean that a certain event or a certain alliance or certain things from the past dictate where our film is going."
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Cap. I'm sure he has some elements referring to the Snyderverse and the DCEU. I call Cap.
You think so? Mm-hmm. Well, this movie was made after everything. Now, this movie is an old regime movie. Obviously, this is a movie that was in the... It was weird because right when Hamada knew that he was leaving, he put this one and Batgirl into the chamber, knowing damn well he wasn't going to be around to finish it.
He was like, "Good luck, motherfuckers."
Yeah, exactly. He basically threw a grenade and was like, "Good luck, I'm out of here." And so this one, I thought was just going to be a bastardized movie, but they wanted to move it. Zaslav himself wanted to moving it from a streaming to an actual theatrical release.
And then we know how Batgirl turned out.
And then, yeah, exactly what happened with Batgirl. James, director, what's his name? His full name, Soto. Angel Manuel Soto. Angel Manuel Soto. That he's saying that his Blue Beetle might be part of the new DCU. James Gunn said that the character is going to be part of his new DCU. So, I mean, maybe they're on the same page about that. But why is it that Superman Legacy is going to be the first film of his roster? This one might not. The director's basically not giving James Gunn any leeway to be like, yeah, this movie's not part of my universe if it flops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where James Gunn is leaving that leeway to be like, if it flops, it's not my movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. You would think they'd be on the same page and backing each other up like this, just to be like, hey, you know, give people a reason to watch, maybe. But this doesn't. I don't think this helps. Especially, since you said it yourself, they're not united. They can't come up with a plan. And if this is the first character or whatever, first movie according to the director, James Gunn can easily be like, no, he was talking out his ass, and then be like, it's Superman Legacy. Don't believe anything else. And I'm pretty sure it's only because he penned it. You know,
that for Superman Legacy,
yeah,
that James Gunn penned it,
and that Blue Beetle isn't. So he's not gonna count it until he sees the numbers.
I don't think that. What I would have thought would have happened is that, because this movie, like I said, it was already locked in the chamber. Some scenes were already filmed by the time the new regime got a hold of it. So I was thinking they could have easily just tweaked a bunch of like little things or whatever, do some reshoots, and basically pave the way for James Gunn's new DCU. You know what I mean? Like they could have done a little bit. Like, is there stuff from Snyderverse and stuff? Probably not, because this movie was supposed to be after The Flash regardless. So, technically, The Flash basically rewrote time by now. So, this one would have had to been somewhere. It would have been in the world of what Batgirl's movie would have been. You know what I mean? Yeah. And what Aquaman 2's movie would have been.
Yeah. But
since it's not, if they don't have any references or any cameos or anything like that, James Gunn has full free range to put whoever he wants within this movie.
Oh, okay. Damn, I better not see Harcourt.
Harcourt's
gonna form the Titans.
What if we see James Gunn's Superman make an appearance? Who knows?
So they said Batman makes or George Lopez said Batman makes an appearance. Is he reliable? Not really, but he said it. So I'm just going by what he said.
By what Mr. Lopez says? I mean, he could be right. He could have, he could be right. It could be just one of those faceless cameos too, where it's like just a bat suit. It could be one of those like teases, what they did with Shazam, just tease the new Batman, because a lot of people were confused, especially with like, fuck. Never mind. I don't want to bring that guy. I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to bring it up right now. No, never mind. But basically what happens at the end of the Flash movie, a lot of people were wondering if that was going to be the Batman of the DCU or whatever. And so, I know James Gunn came out on Twitter and debunked that. So, I mean, if any time would be good as any to kind of start teasing your new Superman, start teasing your new Batman, get hype generated, because the next movie's not coming out. Superman Legacy is not coming out till 2025. So, what better way to generate hype for a whole year than to show off your new Superman right before a whole hiatus of like DC movies?
He doesn't even have him picked out yet, this guy.
I mean, he says he's close.
He says he is close. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think everywhere will be a minefield, and well, you know how I am about Superman. So we'll see how that goes when that shows up. But, I mean, it won't be completely... Oh, actually, it might. We have no DC stuff next year.
Nothing at all? It's gonna
Other than the Creature Commandos, but I don't give a fuck about that.
Other than Creature Commandos?
Yeah. Titans canceled. All the shows I like have been canceled. My fucking Superman Lois is barely getting a season 4.
That's because DC's dog shit right now, guy. DC's dog shit.
It's gonna be a weird year without DC stuff. This was gonna be its year to triumph. Oh my god, that's why I'm so mad.
Thwarted once again,
always
by the Rock.
By the fucking Marvel, the Marvel guys.
Nah, thwarted by their own people. It's crazy. I swear Warner Brothers is just like Cheddar Bob, bro.
You shoot himself.
Bro, yeah, I just honestly think that's just them. They're like,
I really
they're
hope
always
people get that
like, you know,
reference.
a new movie is like a new Gun to them, and they're always like, oh wow, this is so nice. I wonder how it's work. And there it goes, boom, there goes their toe, cheddar bobbed. It's ridiculous what Warner Brother tends to do, and it's fucking weird how they tend to do this as well. Like, not be on the same page, not know where things are gonna be going. I understand that James Gunn is still mapping out his stuff, but we need a little bit more.
It's time to start
consistency.
teasing people. It's time to start laying
Build some
down the
hype.
groundwork. Yeah.
Build some hype.
Posting pictures of your subliminal messages of Superman isn't going to work. Do something else. Creature Commandos is close.
Yeah, Josh doesn't like to be teased. He's getting blue balled by
This is
you, James
fucking-
Gunn.
This is fucking whack, bro.
You're blue balling my
At
boy.
least give me a reason to be mad at you. No, otherwise it's not fun.
I swear to God, bro, he just wakes up in the morning and you mad at him.
We're like, damn, did he wake? Did he wake up today? No, I'm not that mean. I'm on a professional level. I can be mean.
On a professional level, you could be mean?
On a professional level.
You mean unprofessional level?
No, very professional.
You
Fuck
could
this
be
guy and his Superman.
Oh, wow. That's very unprofessional
Oh, I don't think so.
to say fuck him and his Superman.
Yeah, it's not like I'm saying fuck him and his cat. I don't even know if he has one.
I mean, saying the F word is unprofessional in and itself, I believe.
Okay.
Say fudge.
That doesn't sound as professional.
Bro,
as
you will
think it
sound
is.
mad harder if you say fudge you.
No,
See? That didn't
it's
sound
not gonna happen.
like, what if I was like, fudge you? Like, you know?
No,
It kind of sounds like I said it, but I didn't
no,
say
it's
it.
not gonna happen.
No? All right. But what sounds like might be happening is Jensen Ackles as the new
Ankles?
Ackles? Jensen. Oh, damn. His ankles are just.
Ankles?
His ankles are just fat all the fucking time. Jensen Ackles could be possibly playing the new DCU Batman. Now, a lot of people thought about this when, you know, James Gunn came out with his little announcement where he said Blue Beetle. And basically, a lot of people were like, well, you know, you did say you're going to be attaching video games, animation, and TV. And since Jensen Ackles is basically Batman right now, will he be your new Batman in the future? Now, he was asked during an interview about this if he has been approached by Gunn or Safran to play Batman in the new universe.
Yeah.
And he basically says, would I entertain the idea of playing my favorite superhero of all time? Nah, I'm good. It seems like a lot of work. You know, you got to put on a bat suit and be a superhero. He was just joking. And he says, I would love it. Sign me up. I mean, he's playing Batman right now. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are saying, and there's a lot of like fan art out there saying that he could play that Batman. Would you be on board with seeing Jensen Ackles
I don't
with
know.
his big old ankles as
I don't
Batman?
know, because people had did this with Red Hood and him also. People were like, oh, he voiced Red Hood one time. Let's make him Red Hood in live action. But I don't vibe with that idea. Same way I don't vibe with this one. Like, I think voice work and actually doing the part are two different things. We know he can act like a superhero, but it's different from just being the Batman.
I mean, well, yeah. I personally think maybe like Bruce Wayne would fit him, but I don't know about a Batman. I'm not sure, but
You get two actors.
he does do the voice.
Bruce Wayne and Batman.
He does the voice for the Batman in the animated universe. So, I mean, if he can pull it, I mean, it's just a mask, right? And he has a strong jaw as it is. He could be the Batman, but then, you know, it would just collide with everything because then they already have a bunch of missions they've been on within the animated universe, and they're going to be like, whoa, is that not the same Justice? You know what I mean? It's going to be very confusing. That's another thing is that's one thing. This is one thing that James Gunn, this is why I have sympathy. There is a bunch of spaghetti that he has to untangle. There's so much shit that he wants to do and have a singular way of going, but little by little, he just got to start pulling the plug on this shit. You know what I mean? CW is already shutting down. Arrowverse is already on its way out. I guess that was the cheapest thing to go. And then now we're going to have to, you know, do away with the animated universe so James Gunn can start his own with Creature Commandos and whatnot, right? TV shows, stuff like that. It got to slow down because he wants his own stuff to be in a singular universe, and stuff like this is going to confuse people. Keeping Gal Gadot is going to confuse people. Keeping Ezra Miller's Flash is going to confuse people. You bring this guy in, he's going to confuse people. If he's going to reboot, he needs to reboot everything. Everything. Left nothing unrebooted.
Unrebooted. I don't know. I don't know what he could be thinking. He already said that his wife and Peacemaker were staying or whatever. So he's already picking and choosing. And I don't see this happening because the Tomorrowverse, or these animated movies, whatever you want to call them, have been made before the acquisition. These were a product before that. They started around basically just maybe a month or so before WBD bought WB, you know? Because they had finished a Flashpoint one forever ago, and then, well, the Man of Tomorrow came out. So it's been they've been pretty busy for a while before the acquisition. So I doubt if people think this. I mean, go with your fan cast, but I can't vibe with this. And then, like you said, it's a lot of mixed stuff going around, because then you have to weave out, oh, is this connected? Like, no one wants that.
It's just a lot of shuffling and reshuffling, a lot of extra work that he's going to have to do. So, yeah, pretty much set to where it's set to as of right now. I mean, can we see him becoming the new Batman, though? You personally, you say no?
Yeah, no, I couldn't.
I could maybe say so, but I would have to see him. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how when we first heard Ben Affleck was going to be cast, and everybody was kind of like, oh, what? Affleck? You know, will he be able to do it, kind of thing? And then he did it. And, you know, I was one of those that was skeptical of Ben Affleck myself at the time. And then when he actually, like, showed up and showed out in BVS, I was like, holy shit, bro. Like, he is Batman, you know? So I think Jensen Ackles is one of those, or Ankles. Jensen Ackles is. Why is his name so close to ankles, bro? It doesn't make any sense. Jensen Ackles is one of those actors that we would have to see before we can be like, yeah,
for sure. Little weird stuff,
but I mean, we could probably see him on The Boys season 4, maybe potentially. So if you guys are excited for Soldier Boy to come back, he might be coming back, but. Also, speaking about season 4, Karen Fukuhara had came out and talked to Entertainment Weekly, basically talking about The Boys season 3, her development throughout the series.
Yeah,
you know, she first started back in season 1, gradually basically became this star with season 3. Now, a lot of people were kind of weirded out, and her as well, rightfully so, because in season 2, she was there, but she wasn't really in the forefront until they actually needed her. Season 3 kind of shined the light on her even more. The Boys show being a loose adaptation of the comic book because it's not 100% comics accurate, right? They went off their own script.
Yeah, they changed a lot.
So they basically asked her, hey, you know, how was it coming to this point in season 3 where you're more up front and, you know, not very in the background as the first 2 seasons? And she says it's really cool because the writer's room is really diverse. I spoke with one of the writers, and they were saying we do that so that actors have real life stories and real experiences that they can pull from. And I think that's brilliant. You can't have an all-white male writer's room and expect to come up with a layered Asian female character. You just can't.
She is right. She is right for sure. Diversity, I feel, should always be a part of the writing room, especially if your cast is very diverse. You know what I mean? Like, I know people had a problem. People have a problem with in the comics, white people like writing for black characters, and you know, it's true because they go out of pocket and say some weird things, and you got,
yo, dog,
dude, I shit you not. There's a comic out there where it was a what if of Miles Morales being Thor, and he says, I think he says by Odin's fade or something like that. He says that, and then he says something about his hood, and then and this was written by a white guy, so he was like getting shit for it for sure. And like,
wow.
Like, this thing should just happen naturally. You need a very diverse writing room if your cast is going to be very diverse. Then that kind of goes with everything, because how can you write better than this person who's the exact race or whatever? You know what I mean? This should happen everywhere.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with, in my opinion, having a writer, a different background writer and stuff like that. I feel like that all comes down to what we say about actors, right? Where like it shouldn't matter the racial part, right? It should matter what they bring to the table. I think a shitty writer is just a shitty writer. I think a good writer would be able to find that source material or whatever, and be able to enhance it into a compelling story, do their research, and not make it so, so stereotypical. You know what I mean? Like that whole fate thing in a comic book. Like if that writer had any knowledge on how to be a good writer, he would have went out, looked at like how they talk, their mannerisms, when they go talk to a couple people, actually get the story straight, and not just be like, oh, it's Sunday, fade up Thor. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it should matter that so much. I think it should always be diverse in the room. Yes, I don't think that we should have just white males just writing things the way that she kind of put it, but it should always be diverse, but it should always be for what's best for the writer's room. If they're a good writer, fucking bring them in. It don't matter, they black, white, blue, purple, oval, triangle, it don't matter. It don't matter what kind of human being. If they can write good, let them in.
I don't know if I vibe with that. You know what I mean? Because like a white writer would be like, could totally have this concept, and he could be writing fucking bestsellers, but you're not gonna get the same experience or nothing like that from that white person. I think if you bring in someone who is racially a part of the role or whatever, has some kind of say and experience with whatever they're writing, should be able
as
to
an actor,
writer, or write it.
Oh, writer. Okay.
Actor, we've talked about that. It doesn't matter for acting. It's whatever you bring to the table. I feel, because of how little.
So how would that differ from a writer's room? I mean, an actor, because if they can bring to the table what they need to, a writer can't do the same thing.
They can, but again, that's kind of entrusting and putting faith in people that don't get it. You know what I mean? There's a reason why her character was kind of put to the backside, and then now she has like episodes just about her. She had a whole arc in the last season. You know what I mean? And that's because of people that get it and diverse casting. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's a lot of movies like that where you're just like, I don't know if this person, would act like this, or there's a bunch of stereotypes, you know what I mean? Like, and that's usually when things are written by white people, because they just don't get it when written by other people.
I don't know if I can agree. I mean, like I said, I personally don't think that the whole room should just be all white men and stuff like that, but I don't think that you can exclude basically exclude, let's just say, if that white man has a good idea and can write, he should be able to stay. But if he can't, then he should go. And same thing, vice versa with anybody. If it's a black man, if he can't write, why is he in the writer's room? Why, to check off a box? To be like, oh yeah, a black writer is writing for a black character. It's like, but what if his writing's dog shit? What if it's no good? You know what I mean? But if, a white man could find the soul. I mean, there's Jack Harlow, for crying out loud, bro. That's right. I said it. There's fucking Jack Harlow. That's a perfect example. He could probably sympathize with all kinds of things, whatever. But at the end of the day, he's a white man. What can I tell you? That's right. I made it. I made the comparison. I don't even care. I'm standing on it.
Jack Harlow.
Yeah, there's a Jack Harlow out there. There's Drake. That's right.
You better shut up. No. What do you call it? No, because the worst case for this to happen in the one instance where I can think about what you're saying is what happened with Velma, the Velma show, made by that Mandy chick, and then she's not a writer, she's not a good writer, but she's a she's a colored Indian person. You know what I mean? She's Indian. I'm not too sure what her race is, but she's just like, she was like, oh, all Velma is gonna be is women empowerment and, you know, lesbians and shit like that. And no one wants that from a Velma show, but it's because she was trying to be that whole thing that she always is. The same thing she put in the Mandy show, and then when she was kind of, or no, not in The Office, but what she was trying to do with the Mandy show, just put herself, because she's you know, she runs that shit and she can write and do whatever she wants on her show. She's just gonna do that. That's like the worst case scenario.
But that's what I mean, right? So she is this person who can't write for shit, but they gave it to her and gave her full range because she has power to do so, right? She supposedly she has the writing skills. All that aside, race and everything, was the writing in that show good? Have you seen it?
I've only seen like the first episode.
Did you think it was good?
No.
Okay.
That shit was
so
ass.
maybe her creation could have been cool, but maybe she could have had somebody else writing the damn script. And it could have been probably turned out a little bit better. She could have had the direction and the vision, but gave up the writing. Same thing, you know, we talk about James Gunn all the time. That's why it's weird that he's going to be directing, writing, all that stuff, because he may not be the man for the job, but yet he's going to go for it. You know what I mean? And you could watch the movie and be like, the script was kind of garbage, but everything else was good. And you can just be like, well, you can acknowledge that he should have not been the one writing the damn thing.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't know. Those are just extreme cases. And yeah, I wasn't thinking about anything like that until you mentioned like bad writing. And I was like, well, Velma kind of shares the same boat. But again, that's just extreme shit, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like at its worst, or is when it happens, like I said, with the Miles Morales comic book. You shouldn't be having white people write. Oh, dude, I totally forgot. There's this panel where he calls Mjolnir, and it has graffiti on it. A white man wrote that. Like, that's, you know what I mean? That's like another worst case scenario, you know?
See, and that's bad.
Like,
I can acknowledge that's bad.
It's like, it's just very, like, it depends on what's going on. But if the writing room is diverse, I'm sure you can get something good out of it.
All right. Well, want to hear from you guys. Do you guys think that every panel needs to be diverse? Every writer's room needs to be diverse? Or, you know, can we have compelling stories from, it doesn't matter who.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter who. I think, you know, if it is diverse, cool. But anybody could write. And as long as the writing is good, everything looks solid, why not give them a shot, right? Moving on, though, we are also hearing, and today it was like a bombshell, that Marvel Studios will be skipping Comic-Con's Hall H this year. Now, a lot of speculations going into this, and people would think it's because of the writer's strike, but then a lot of other studios aren't really backing out themselves. Is this like a reshuffling for Marvel? In my opinion, if DC's not bowing out, I think this is the time that maybe James Gunn should probably show up and show out. You know what I mean? And really tease what's to come. So, hopefully, I don't know what. First of all, let's try to make out why Marvel's going to be missing. Why do you think they're going to be missing?
They already delayed all their stuff. I'm sure it's because of the writer's strike. They had all their projects have been pushed back, and what needed to be pushed forward was pushed forward. That's not exactly secret. And then they just have nothing else to show right now. And whatever they do have to show, it's a little thing, so they could just do it at D23. You know what I mean? They don't have enough to roll out because we know what they have, and unfortunately, none of it is being worked on at the moment. So they can't show anything. All they can really do is announce the cast. But I think I saw somewhere that they're probably going to do it at D23.
The cast for Fantastic Four?
Mm-hmm. But like Blade isn't coming underway. Like the movies that we were supposed to get next year aren't coming through.
That's true, huh? They don't really have anything to show.
Yeah, they don't have anything to show. Funny how the tables turns, because last year DC didn't have anything to show either. So, I mean, you win some, you lose some, Marvel. It is what it is.
Yeah. So, available slot, it's probably because of that. I think it's probably because it's the writer's strike, too.
I thought I saw somewhere that it wasn't just them, though. That HBO and another studio was bowing out.
I haven't seen anybody else say that they're going to bow out, but I did hear about Marvel. I'm not too sure about anybody else bowing out right now.
I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of that eventually. But it is weird because they had a fucking ball last year.
Yeah, and you would think that
DC
they would
had
have
nothing.
What do they have this year? Just Secret Invasion in the Marvels now, or what? Is there anything at the
Loki,
end?
no.
Oh, Loki by the end of the year.
Somewhere by the end
But
of the
no
year.
more movies.
No, not any movies right now.
Yeah, they probably just don't have anything to show. They had to push everything back. Writer strike is being affected. A lot of productions stopped too. So yeah, they're probably how the turntables because DC had nothing to show last year besides Aquaman.
Oh yeah,
and now this year they have nothing either. I mean, if they show us at D23, then that's fine. I mean, when is that anyways? Usually, do you know when that's usually?
No, isn't that toward more like November, like around like toward the end of the year?
No, I don't think it's that far back. That'd be too far back, especially if they're gonna try to promote the Marvels with that one. There's no way. Oh wow, September 8th through 10th.
Oh, see, that was close.
Close enough, yeah. So they wouldn't even show anything from the Marvels out. That movie would be out already. So it would just be from the roster later on. But that's assuming that the writer's strike picks back up or is done and over with by then, and they have production on their way and something to show.
Yeah, but I'm sure whatever little they do have, they're just gonna hold it off till their own event, like they did last year. Because they had a fucking unveiling last year, but even at D23, we got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we did actually. They show up for Comic-Con and D23.
I
know a lot of people.
Star Wars to make an appearance at D23 again.
Yeah, they're not gonna be doing that anytime soon, unless we're gonna be seeing something from that.
The
Ridley
Bad
movie.
Batch. We're gonna get the Bad Batch.
The Bad Bitch. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But DC has the potential to show up and show out with this one. If they're still showing up, this would be the time to showcase something.
Don't fumble the ball again, James. Don't fumble the ball again.
Where's Saffron in all of this?
He's not good with the public.
Yeah.
I bet he's the paper pusher of this dynamic.
He's like, God, no, I don't even want to deal with all this shit.
What, James? What are they doing, Mr. Terrific? Just go ahead, bro. I don't even like. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's like the paper pusher.
I wonder if he gives them shit for Twitter. I wonder if he hits them up like, James,
you need to shut the fuck up. No.
Yeah, like I wonder if he comes up to him and is just like, hey, James, like, Mr. Gunn, like, chill the fuck out once in a while.
Who knows? I doubt there's any restraint. You know what I mean? It's not like a PR team was watching his move. So,
yep. Marvel missing out on Hall H. LW? Who knows? I mean, they might be, loading up that gun to really give us something special with D23.
Maybe.
I mean, especially with, like, unknown, if we're even going to see any Marvel projects next year at this point. You know what I mean? It's going to be very rocky, muddy waters for them. But one thing that they don't have to worry about, and that's Samuel L. Jackson going anywhere. Because he said himself, while talking to the Hollywood Reporter, that he has no intention to retire as Nick Fury. He said if they, that he'll keep playing Nick Fury until they stop calling him, and as long as his phone rings,
he'll pick up.
He'll pick up. W. Yeah.
He's my one solid casting throughout the MCU. I can argue about some, but he is the definitive man. You know what I mean? They got it right, and I know people will be like, "Oh, he's only black because he used to be white. Nick Fury used to be a white man in the comics. Remember that?
Yeah.
Strange times. The Ultimate Comics made him black, and they actually asked for Samuel L. Jackson's likeness. So that's kind of why. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's the definitive guy. He's perfect Nick Fury. Hopefully, he can continue to play him throughout everything.
Yeah, and he's been around for the longest time, since the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
That one post-credit scene that started it all.
Set it all off.
And here he is, many years later, beat out Robert Downey Jr. Has he been in more Marvel projects than Robert Downey Jr.?
Well, accounting every little
Far From Home, all that.
Every little cameo of his, and then damn, why do I keep fumbling the word? What is it? The post-credit scenes. I don't know why I keep forgetting that, but the post-credit scenes, counting every single one of those, there's one of him almost at every end movie. So I'd argue he's probably in a lot more projects than RDJ.
Probably, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson not going nowhere. I think he's a fine Nick Fury. I'm still mad we didn't hear him say motherfucker yet, but I mean, it is what it is. They almost gave it to us in that post-credit scene with when he was trying to get Captain Marvel in Infinity War. Yeah. The one thing I still don't like is how they dumbed down his eye patch thing with that whole cat thing in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about
that. That's one L I would say for this character, but other than that, I think he's been very solid. Yeah. We still got to watch Secret Invasion. That's out right now, guys. So if you guys haven't watched it, go ahead.
The first episode is out.
If you guys want to see us do a review on that one as well, we could do a mid-season review and then go ahead and do a full review when the show's over as well. Yeah. Just let us know down at the socials.
6 episodes.
6 episodes.
Not too bad.
Yeah. I've been hearing some people complain about, I guess, the AI art in the beginning.
Oh, people are just
bitching.
People are bitching. Like, I'm sure we'll get into it heavier when we decide to go through it. But
yeah, I just been seeing what Twitter's been saying.
I don't think it's that
Twitter's
big
not
of
a real place.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Moving on though to our last topic of this episode, probably your favorite because I don't know if this is good or bad news for you, but we are not getting Bad Bunny's El Muerto. It's been removed from Sony's release calendar. Sony announcing today, actually, that it won't be releasing January 12th, 2024 anymore. That there's still hopes. It's still in production, but as of right now, due to the writer's strike and due to Bad Bunny's touring schedule, it impacted the filming, and so sounds like it might still be coming out, might not ever release. They're saying it's scheduling conflicts, and usually when that happens, it's usually a no-go ever. But, you know, so W, you say?
W. No one needs this movie. No one gives two fucks about a comic book character.
You don't give a fuck about Benito, though?
No one cares about a character that showed up like twice in the comics to fight Spider-Man. Even in his early career, he's not even like a big bad, this guy. He can stay away from Morbius, Venom, Vulture, Kraven, and now Rhino. Stay away. I don't need this man in the Sinister Six. Just stay away.
Is he supposed to be as yoked as his wrestler? I mean, I haven't even seen him working out at all.
I don't think so.
How is he going to be on tour with those massive muscles?
He's not.
So W?
W. This is a real big win.
Damn, Benito. You think... Because we have a sister, an older sister.
We do.
What do you call it? Do you think, and she's a Bad Bunny fan, do you think that if this movie had to been released and she would have seen Bad Bunny, you think she would have went for it?
I think so.
Just for Benito?
Just for Bad Bunny.
So you think that this movie will actually sell tickets just for Bad Bunny fans?
Yes.
100%?
For sure. People underestimate singers as actors. Some of them don't do good. Some of them are really good. Shout out Haley Steinfeld. But this is something that people are just going to want for the front man. And maybe the soundtrack, because I'm sure he's going to pen that bitch too.
Oh, probably. But, like, at the same time, but it's a different arena. Because people didn't show up and show out for Taylor Swift's Cats when that one came out.
That shit was ass.
But Taylor Swift was in there. If
Wasn't Jason Derulo in there?
He was.
Movie, there's a difference.
Idris Elba was in there too.
Damn. Well, more on that later. But like people, I'd argue the Latin community would eat this shit up. Not us though. And I was
about to say I'm part of that community, and I would not.
Y'all can eat without us. We'll be alright.
Honestly, I think that the Latin community, besides women. I say women probably like it, but I think a majority of guys don't really fuck with Bad Bunny.
They're going to go because of girlfriends.
I like Bad Bunny. I'm not going to lie. He's cool. I think he's decent. Yeah, so Bad Bunny's not going to be gracing our screens anytime soon.
He can stay away. It's fine.
So, yeah. So, the movie's still in development, though.
Yeah.
So, Sony Amy Pascal has to have some kind of confidence in this movie to not completely scrap it. So
no.
that is assuming that they're not just saying this to save face, and then it's just gonna silently, get swept under the rug.
I'm sure it will. There's no reason to keep this movie alive, especially with like I want to know what happened to. I know we got a few set pictures from that Spider-Woman movie or Madam Web. Sorry,
we did.
That Madam Web movie
with Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah. So I wanted to know where that one went. I'm sure it's on pause, but I want to know where that one went. And then we have Kraven and Venom. I think they're doing fine.
After that Kraven trailer, I don't know.
I think they're doing fine.
Yeah, I don't know though. Are you guys excited for Bad Buddy? Is some Benito gonna be missing from your life because you're not gonna get him in the El Muerto movie? Let us know. And if, like always, if there's a topic that we missed, a movie you guys want us to review, something we should have said but we didn't, you guys want to support us in a big way, you guys want to talk to us any point in time, Josh, let them know where they can let us know.
Not at any point in time. Our business hours. No, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. We post when new episodes are up. And you can hit us up there. Listen to us on the go, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts at FilmBros Podcast. Support us in a big way. Buzzsprout links are in our bios to all the socials I listed before. You subscribe, you get special perks, and you get your name shouted out in our episodes. So go ahead and do that. And when it's all said and done, subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
And with that being said, we will talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.